Hi guys, today I wanted to talk about nature. Um, I know, random topic, but I thought, why not? Why do I feel like obviously we live in a really technocratic world where everything's revolved around technology, but but we've never been more disconnected from nature than before. I feel like maybe up until like 2 generations ago, yeah, maybe even two generations ago us human beings are so much connected to nature, I don't know, the elements, the wind, the earth, the water, fire. Um, but now this is like far away things. To think that a lot of calendars around the world are a lot of calendars around the world are created according to the agricultural cycles, according to the seasons. Um, but now we live in this not, yeah, a lot of us live in a super urbanized manner that um, I don't know. I think nowadays, or for some time, people feel like they are separate from nature, like human and nature, but actually we're part of nature. We we are from nature. I think our ancestors, humans, for a long time lived according to the laws of nature. You know, sometimes I think, like for example, like in Europe, um, in the winter months, the you know the days are really short and the nights are really long. So obviously in this day and age people have to work like 9 to 5. But then I sometimes think, oh God, before people must have worked out in the fields according to the sun, according to the sunlight. So they probably only worked what 9 to 3 or something in the winter time. Because your body is naturally more tired in the winter as well. Um, and I feel like because we're so disconnected from, not, yeah, a lot of people are disconnected from nature. Uh, we we are in we are what's the word? We're not in touch with the flora and the fauna of our surroundings. The herbal medicine, the leaves that are around us, what kind of trees that are around us, what kind of plants that are around us, if there are any medicinal properties to these plants, like for these particular leaves or particular bark. When this used to be everyday knowledge to a grandma, maybe, yeah, to a grandma like two generations ago. And I think a lot of us are missing out on that. Of course, obviously, I'm not saying anything bad about modern medicines, but of course, we've come a we've come a lot, but still, you're losing all this knowledge, um, on these plants and trees. Yes, money is important, and we can't live without money. Money makes the world go around, and because so much of this world, because it's running on money, and because so many of us don't have the resources, and it's like we're forced to live a life, this artificial life that nobody wants to live, and everybody's forced to live it. And I find it really sad, and what? Sometimes I wish I was some sort of, and I was living in a time and a place where, yeah, it wasn't super urbanized and industrialized, and we lived more of a natural life. And if I think about all the illnesses that we have in this day and age, it's unimaginable. And people may argue, or yeah, a good solid argument would be, well, nobody lived until, nobody had like longevity, uh, people lived only up until 30 or 40. That's also true. You know, people are living longer, but with so many illnesses. And some of these illnesses are lifestyle illness, like blood pressure, diabetes. So a lot of women with a lot of hormonal. And I wonder why is that? Why are there so much illnesses these days, you know? Um, yeah. And people have lost people just used to hang out back in the day, like climbing up the trees and playing with the branches, rolling down the hill. And we don't really see that anymore. It's almost seen as an exotic thing to do, but it's not. It's just so natural. Um, and I wish a lot of us, I wish a lot of people realize we are not separate entities. Um, and I feel like people are so distracted with technology, I mean social media and consumerism and buy, 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 buy. Um, yeah, just listening to the wind and looking at the leaf kind of sway in the wind. It's so calming. Yeah. I don't know, you surely people, when there's like a fire going on, like let's say, if you when you stare at the fire, it's your eyes are fixated on it. Or water. Like I'm sure everybody who's been like near a beach or near the sea, like near sea, it's so mesmerizing to hear the waves and just like looking at the waves flowing. Yeah, there's something. Um, and actually being more attuned to these things around us actually help us become more mindful of our surroundings and yeah, and a bit more sensitive to our surroundings. Yeah, but yeah, um, I guess it's a short video on nature and basically just trying to encourage we all should, even if you live in a super, I don't know, suburban area, there are always parks that you can hang out in. Um, yeah, I think it's really important to be with it because that's where we come from. Yeah, that's part of who we are. We're not separate. Thanks.